here and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks. And today we are making a shawl. Now, a couple of weeks ago we went on a filming trip to Paphos in Cyprus and we had the most amazing time and we visited the most amazing sights. And of course, a location like that calls for a very special shawl. The shawl is an easy 2-row repeat, but the effect that you create is absolutely stunning. And of course, the yarn that you use is going to make the difference. For this shawl, I am using James C. Brett Emotions yarn, and this colorway is called Interest, and I have to say, it's a very interesting colorway. So there is a clear front and a back to this shawl, but to be honest, I think both sides look good. So if you accidentally wear it the other way around, I'm not sure it's going to matter. I have a written pattern available for this shawl, which you will find on my website. So to get there, you can follow the link in the description box below this video. For this shawl, I am using 3 balls of Emotions in the color Interest. But of course, we have the whole range on our website, so please do go and have a look. It's been a very popular range, so we have the 8 colors that there are in this range. They are all fabulous colorways. I will put a link to the website in the description box below, as always. Now for this shawl I am using a 4.5. The yarn is prescribed for a 4mm hook. I usually use a 3.5 for the DK. So I'm going to go up 1 whole hook size. So that means I'm using a 4.5. So if you usually use a 4, you're now going to use a 5. If you use a 4.5, you're now going to use a 5.5. So you go up a whole hook size. I will be using a plain colored yarn for the tutorial, so it's easy for you to see the stitches. So to start with, we are going to make a slip knot. You're going to insert your hook and you're going to chain 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Then you go back to the first chain you did, you insert into there and you bring through the working yarn. There we go. Tighten it all up a bit and then you pull through this loop through the loop on your hook, making a slip stitch. So you've now made a circle. You're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now we're going to place 7 treble crochets into the circle. Now I use American terminology, and for my trebles I yarn over twice, like so. Then you go into your circle, you pull up a loop, you yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So 1, 2, insert into the circle, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. 1, 2, insert, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to do that until we have 7 of these treble crochets. So I need another 4. So here we go, I've got my 7 treble crochets, and of course I'm not counting the chain 4 for now. Now we're going to do a chain 1, and then on this part of the circle we are also going to be placing 7 treble crochets, but we also need a side, so we're going to place 8 treble crochets there.
Okay, so I have done my 8 treble crochets, and this is what our work looks like now. Now for row 2, we're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Then you're going to turn, so you're now facing the back of your treble crochets, and you're going to put 1 front post double crochet in the next 7 stitches. So this stitch here really is the stitch that our chain 7 is coming out of. So that's our side stitch. This here, this one here is our first stitch that we're going to be using. Okay, so we're doing double crochet, so that means you yarn over once and you go around the body of that first stitch there, because it's a front post double crochet, and you have to do this 7 times. So we place 7 front post double crochets in a row, 1 each, around the treble crochets that we did. Where am I? Yeah, here, the last one. There we go. Voila. This is what it looks like, and of course this is what it looks like on the other side. And look, if you have contrasting colors, you will be able to see those colors through, let me find a better example, look, through your design here, so in that shell. And that is what I think, look, this here, black shell, and then pink, look at the effect. And I think that's what makes this shawl look really lovely. So now that we've done our 7 front post double crochets, we are at the tip of our shawl. And of course in this row, that's all we've got. In every tip that we do, when we are doing our front post double crochet rows, we are going to be chaining 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And then you go to the other side. So this is your tip. Okay, now we have here our treble crochets. In this row we're doing front post double crochets, so yeah, you start doing your front post double crochets around your treble crochets, and of course we are going to be doing 7 of them. There we go. So the number 7 is the amount of stitches you will have in your shells. Here, of course, in this start, we have in that first shell and in this last shell of the row, we have 8 trebles or 8 stitches. And really those 2 stitches here are the side of your shawl. So that's why they are there. So at the beginning and at the end, you will have to make sure you've got your 8 stitches, but all the others are 7. So now we are going to finish our row of front post double crochets by making this to finish as well. So you're going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. And then you're going to do a treble crochet because that's the distance we have to bridge. So you yarn over twice. And then here, you're going to just look for the 4th chain. So we did 4 chains. In that last chain, you're going to pick that up and you're going to position your treble crochet in there. Voila. So if we look at it like this, we have indeed got a triangle. Just shape it a little bit. And we are looking like this on the front. So now we are ready for row 3. Going to get started with a chain 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. You turn, and now you're going to work into this chain space here, and that's the location where you're going to place 7 treble crochets. So we yarn over twice and we place 7 treble crochets around the chain space. So remember that chain 4 is there, but it is really our side. So here I have my 7 treble crochets. Then you're going to look at your double crochets in the row below, and you're going to count 1, 2, 3 into the 4th one. Here you then have 1, 2, 3 left. So basically you're in the middle. You're going to do a single crochet. Then you're going to go on to the next chain space. Now, of course, we have not got a lot of length on our side just yet. So this chain space here is our tip. So straight away now we are doing a tip. And a tip is made up, just like here, it is made up of 7 treble crochets, 1 chain and 7 treble crochets. So let's get started. Yarn over twice into the chain 5 that we created in the previous row as our tip. We are now placing 7 treble crochets. Voila, that's 7. Now I'm doing a chain 1, and then I'm doing another 7 treble crochets around that same chain space. And remember to work lightly with the yarn, make sure it is free flowing so you can create nice, not loose stitches, but not tight stitches either. We are just creating a lovely drapey shawl, and that's what we want to achieve, of course. So I've now done my tip of 7 treble crochets, 1 chain and 7 treble crochets. So now we encounter those 7 double crochets. We go into the middle one, so you skip 3 into the 4th for a single crochet, and then we are here, and of course this is where we started here as well. So we're going to place 7 treble crochets into that chain space there. That's the 7th one, but of course this is the end of our row. We have to do the side, and this side is also going to be made up of a treble crochet because that's the length that we need, but we have to position it into the 4th chain. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So into this chain you're going to yarn over twice and insert into that chain. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to get in, to just position your treble crochet, and by doing that you're sort of creating an anchor almost of, you know, for these stitches not to go past there, and you are creating a straight side, as you can see. Look, so this is where we are at now. On to row 4. So we're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Then we turn our work, so you're working on the back of your work again, and this time you have the treble crochets there. So that means you're doing double crochets in this row and front post. So remember, you don't use this one here, you're just going to go into the first one of those 7 and you do front post double crochets, so 7 of them. So now we have done our 7 front post double crochets, but we need to get to the next shell for doing our front post double crochets. But as you can tell, that's a bit of a distance. So we are going to have to bridge that distance, and at the same time we are also going to have to create a chain space for the shell in the next row. So we're going to do chain 3. 1, 2 and 3. That then gives us the leeway to get to that first location for our front post double crochet. And let me do just one more here. And as you can tell now, we have a location, a chain space, just like we have here, to create a shell in the next row. So that's what we needed to do, of course. So I am now going to continue with placing front post double crochets around the treble crochets of the shell. So I'm doing 7 of them in a row. And then after I have done my 7, I realize I am actually working at the tip here, and my tip when I am doing my double crochets is a chain 5, because that's what we already had done here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we move on to the next shell of 7 treble crochets, where we are going to be doing our front post double crochets around each treble crochet. And you get so used to doing this, you will love doing both the rows, because here we are creating this lovely effect, and in the other one we're doing treble crochets, and I do enjoy doing treble crochets. So chain 3, front post double crochets around the trebles of the next shell. And of course we do 7 of them. Voila. Then after we have done our 7 front post double crochets in our last shell, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then we are going to do a treble crochet into the 4th chain. So 1, 2, 3 into there. So that's very close to that last double crochet there. Voila. And this has now, of course, created the same kind of start and end, and we have a triangular shape appearing. So now let's get started on row 5. So we chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. You turn, so you're working on the front of your work again, and this time you meet a chain space. So that means you're going to be doing 7 treble crochets around the chain space. Voila. Then you see your 7 double crochets, and you do a single crochet in the middle one. Then you start doing your treble crochets again, this time around the chain 3 space in between those 2 lots of 7 double crochets. And in a way, because of what you've done in the previous row, it clearly shows you what you're doing in the next row. 2, 4, 7, look. And so here I now have 7 double crochets, so I know I'm going to skip 3, working in the 4th for my single crochet. And here we have that chain space, and that's the tip. And the tip for the trebles is 7 treble crochets, 1 chain, and 7 treble crochets. So I'm just going to do that. Et voila! Then I meet those double crochets, single crochet in the 4th. Then I meet a chain 3, 7 treble crochets. There we go. Another set of the double crochets where I place my single crochet in the middle, and then here we have the end chain space where we are going to place 7 treble crochets and then that 8th treble crochet in the 4th chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, then 1, 2, 3, 4 into here for a treble crochet. There we go. And I try to pick up 2 strands so it doesn't stretch. So there we are. This is where we are at right now. So now we are on to row 6. And row 6 and row 7 are the rows you are going to keep on repeating throughout the pattern now. Row 6, we're going to start with a chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. You turn, and what do you see? You see the treble crochets. Row 6 is the row where you're doing the double crochets, so you're going to be placing them around the treble crochets. Okay, so not in that very first one here because that's your side, that's really not part of that shell. So double crochets around the treble crochets, and you're doing 7 of them. Then to get to your next shell, you're going to do a chain 3. Then you're at the next shell, you're doing your front post double crochets. Each time make sure you are doing 7 of them.
When you have done your 7 front post double crochets,
1, 2, 3 to bring you to the next shell, and you place 7 front post double crochets there. When you then eventually get to the tip, which I am here, you will do your tip of 5 chains. So the way I remember this is because in between all the front post double crochet lots, I'm doing a chain 3. For the tip, I'm doing a chain 5. There we go. Okay, and then you continue with placing your front post double crochets around the treble crochets on the other side of your shawl, and you work your way all along the side, placing your front post double crochets around the treble crochets, and in between you're doing chain 3s. And here we are already at the end of our row, so we are doing our front post double crochets, and of course each time your row will become longer and longer. You will be making more and more chain 3s. In the next row, of course, you will be making more and more shells, as you can tell. Look. So now to finish, 1, 2, 3 chains and then a treble crochet into the 4th chain. 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. Voila, to make our side. Voila, there we go. So that is row 6, the row of the front post double crochets, and in between them you do chain 3s. At the tip you do chain 5s, and to get started you do a chain 7, which really is the equivalent of a chain 3 and a treble crochet on the other side. Okay, so I have moved the camera up a bit, so we've got a little bit more space here. So we are now at the end of row 6. So row 6 was a double crochet row, or rather front post double crochet row, and now for row 7, the second row that we will always be repeating, we're going to get started with a chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. We turn. This gives us the front look of our shawl again, and we are going to see what we encounter. What have we got here? A chain space. Around the chain space we are going to be placing 7 treble crochets. So yarn over twice around the chain space to do your treble crochets. And it doesn't take much to just quickly count how many you have done, because it is important that you do your 7, because of course after that you do the double crochets on that, and then you have to have that middle double crochet for placing that single crochet, right? So 1, 2, 3 in the fourth one here, 1, 2, 3 left. So that's where we are going to do a single crochet. Then we're going to skip these 3 stitches, and then we are doing treble crochets again around the chain space, 7 of them of course. Voila, quick check, yep. Then skip 3, single crochet in the next stitch, skip 3, and off we go again with our treble crochets. So this is what you do along the side. You keep on repeating your 7 trebles, your single crochets, until you reach the tip. Ah, here we are, there's the tip. So in there you're going to place 7 trebles, a chain 1 and 7 trebles. Single crochet into that fourth one, and off you go again. And then to finish our row we're going to do a treble in the 4th chain. There we go. So this is where we are at now. So now you're going to be continuing with row 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. I used 3 balls of emotions, and I made sure I ended in a row 7, which is the shell row, and that made that I had a nice scalloped edge to my shawl. Now of course you need to make the shawl to fit the recipient, so make sure you make it as large or as small as you need it to be. As you can see here, when I hold out my shawl with arms outstretched, there is still quite a bit of length hanging down. So from tip to tip, my shawl is 250 centimeters wide or 98 inches. From neck to base, my shawl is 95 centimeters or 37 inches. I used 3 balls of yarn, so that means my shawl weighs 450 grams. I hope I have inspired you to make this shawl, and I hope you like this video. Please leave me a thumbs up and a comment if you enjoyed this shawl tutorial. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!